welcome back. This is Aquarium Hacks by Marcus. And so today I'm just going to be talking about um, good old age aquariums. Because sometimes we will have an aquarium and we get it cycled and we think that it's golden and everything is okay with it. But a newly cycled tank is not worth its money, or shall I say, worth its weight in gold, shall I say, is a good old aged aquarium. So, what is an aged aquarium? Well, it's an aquarium that has been set up and going for several months. Now, through that process of that aquarium going, you might have had to do multiple water changes. Perhaps you had to perhaps some fish have died, and and some plants were dying and things of that nature. But eventually, the aquarium becomes more stable. It becomes more mature. So, how do you get to having a good old aged aquarium? Well, for one thing, what you don't want to do is don't change out your decorations very much. Keep those same decorations in that tank for many, many months, and let that decoration just get saturated with biofilm, algae, just detritus and stuff like that. Let that stuff grow on it. That's letting you know that your aquarium is becoming aged. It's becoming old. It's becoming getting that good gold, shall I say. Don't change your substrate out. Leave that same substrate in there. Let it go. You know, don't change your aquarium uh, biomedia out. Let it keep on going. Let it keep going. Let it get aged. Let it get old. Because once it starts to get old and it starts to get aged, your aquarium will then become more and more stable. Let me show you an example. And the light just went off. My timer just went off. But I want to show you an example. Maybe I can get this thing back on here so that I can show you this little 8-gallon tank of mine. So let's get the light back going here. Okay, so you see this 8-gallon tank here? This is an 8-gallon tank that I've had set up now for many months now. And so now, as you can see, it has become an aged aquarium, very old aquarium. The shrimp are thriving well in here. I've got a few pandacories in here, plenty of plants, and they're just growing off the wazoo here. The water is tan. It's got brown tannins in it because of the breakdown of some of the wood. It's definitely got detritus in it, mold in it. And but it becomes an aged old aquarium. I have not changed out anything in this tank. I've kept, for the most part, that is at least, the same decorations in this tank. Same driftwood, the same rocks, the same substrate, and it becomes an old aged aquarium. Now, if you look at the top here, look at those plants how they're starting to grow. Now that's Salvinia minia or minma that is growing in my tank. I even have, I don't know if I can get it on camera, but I even have an Anubias that is starting to grow out of this tank. It's starting to sprout a leaf out of the tank. And so the filter is old and in age. Got a sponge filter. That filter back there is not really just meant just for circulation, but it's old and it's age. It's got some old, you know, old foam in it like that, which I actually washed that out over sink water because, like I said, this is not biological, but it just keeps running and running and running though. Anyway, and so this is what an aged old aquarium will look like. Especially if you have driftwood and stuff like that in your tank. And so that's what we're looking for. Looking for that old aged aquarium. It is worth its weight in gold. Don't be disturbed about the mold that's here on the bottom. That's perfectly fine. Your plants love it. Your bacteria will love it. Now you get over here. This tank now, this larger tank, the lights are off on it, but it is now becoming an aged old aquarium. And so as you can see here on the bottom here, that brown mum is starting to build up here on the bottom, and that's fine. That doesn't bother me at all because I know that this tank is becoming old. It's becoming to get some good age on it. And so that's what I'm just trying to say and talk about a little bit today. Getting your aquarium to that point. It takes a long time, sometimes many months. It takes just some patience, and your aquarium will naturally get to that because beneficial bacteria will start growing well. So don't take your decorations out and scrub them down and wash them and get all that good stuff off of it. Don't wash your substrate. Matter of fact, I'm going to be 100% honest about it. I used to vacuum my substrate years ago, religiously. I never vacuum my substrate no more. I never do. I have not vacuumed a substrate for the last several years. Um, and my fish are just fine. Now, I will tell you that I do use, and I will say this again, I do use snails. And I do use MTS snails. And these little multifasciates, they're diggers anyway, so no need to vacuum the substrate. But in this tank over here, that little 8-gallon tank, no one's a real digger in there. So I never vacuum the substrate though. But I do have live plants, and I've just added some MTS snails in that tank as well. Um, but like I said, you just gotta let your aquarium live. You gotta let your aquarium grow. You gotta let your aquarium, accumulate things in it. Sure, it's gonna be a difficult process from the beginning. Sure, it's gonna take some time before you can get to that good old age aquarium. But once you get there, your aquarium will be in a lot more better state than it was in the first month or two that it was that you had it up and running. So remember, keep the things that you got in your tank. If you're going to change things up in your tank, I would say do it early on in your aquarium hobby while you got your tank going on. Change out those rocks early on. And then later on down the line, several months down the line, if you want to start changing out decorations and changing up your tank a little bit, take out some rocks at a time. Don't take them all out, all your decorations out at one time, and then put all new decorations back in there. You're getting rid of some of that aged old aquarium. You're getting rid of some of that wonderful nitrifying bacteria that has accumulated on your rocks, that wonderful biofilm that has accumulated on your rocks. And so this is Aquarium Hacks. Hey, keep on hacking.